Hello and welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here then hi, my name's Zoe. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button and also turn on that bell so you're notified every single time that I post. And if you're a current subscriber, please just check down below that your bell is turned on, as YouTube doesn't like suggesting true crime content. So today's video is another episode in my Where Are You Missing Persons series. Now, as you guys know, I love to cover current people's cases to raise awareness. But there is something about the old cases that are totally bizarre, and some of them are just crazy. So that's why every now and then I do cover a case what will probably never have answers, which is frustrating, but the cases are just so bizarre that I just need to talk about them. So before jumping into today's case, I'm going to give my usual disclaimer. I mean, no disrespect to anybody that I talk about in this video, anybody who knows anybody involved in the case. I'm simply putting the information together from online research just to raise a little bit of awareness about this case. Today we are talking about missing 4-year-old Bobby Dunbar. Now, like I said at the beginning, this is an old case and it's got so many twists and turns, so it is definitely worth watching until the end. Robert Dunbar, mainly known as Bobby, was born in April 1908 to his parents Leslie and Percy Dunbar. In August 1912, the family of 4, including Bobby, had decided to go on a fishing trip. They had gone to a local lake called Swayze Lake in Louisiana. The lake isn't actually a lake as such, it's more of a swamp, and it was known to exhibit alligators. On the 23rd of August 1912, 4-year-old Bobby wandered off out of his family tent and was never seen again. The next morning, when his parents realised that he was gone, they was frantic, panicking, and they were so upset. They adored their children. Everything they did was for their children, and they did their utmost to try and protect them. But that seemed to all change on that very night. Authorities were alerted right away and searches began for the missing 4-year-old boy. Police worked tirelessly to try and search for Bobby. Even local newspapers picked up on this case, and Bobby's face was everywhere. Police had tips and leads coming in left, right and centre, but when they looked into each and every one of these leads, nothing was of any significance. Some family members and people in the community got together to raise some money to help fund the searches and also to put a reward out for finding Bobby. The community really did come together to try and find Bobby. Searches for the 4-year-old went on for around 8 months, and during this time police only found a couple of things. First, the hat was found near the lake, and also there was small footprints leading away from the swamp. And also people had come forward saying that they saw a man acting strangely near the location where Bobby disappeared around that time. When this case was first brought to light, authorities and Bobby's parents just assumed that the 4-year-old wandered off. This is not unusual, toddlers will just wander away from their parents. But given the small bits of information that they had discovered, this led police to believe that Bobby was possibly abducted. Like I said earlier, the searches went on for around 8 months. But that all came to an end when police got a lead that broke the case open. On the 13th of April 1913, police arrested a suspect. William Walters was a handyman specialising in fixing pianos and organs. He had been travelling through Mississippi with a young boy that highly resembled Bobby Dunbar. When he was interviewed, he told police that this boy was actually Charles Bruce Anderson, or mainly known as Bruce. He was apparently the son of a family friend. He told police that Bruce's mother, Julia Anderson, had actually given him full custody. Police did not believe his story at all, so he was arrested, and Bobby's parents came to Mississippi to identify their son. There is conflicting reports about the first time that Leslie saw Bobby after he went missing. Now, it is said and allegedly that Bobby didn't answer to his name. He didn't know who his mother was. Now, this is strange, but it's not that strange when you consider he was 4 years old when he was abducted or disappeared. So if someone was trying to influence him that someone else was maybe his mother and that Bobby wasn't his name, it's easy to do that with him being only 4 years old. But later police did say that this child was Bobby Dunbar and he went home with his parents. Later, when Leslie was bathing her son, she said she noticed moles and scars which matched with Bobby, so this just made her mind up on the whole situation and that this child was actually Bobby. Like I said earlier in this case, the community really came together to try and find Bobby. So once he was found, everyone was ecstatic. And when the family returned home with Bobby, they actually threw a homecoming party for him, which I find is just so lovely. In some of the missing persons cases, and they've been found, this is what's happened, because it is very rare that a child will be found, as horrible as that is, especially when it's suspected that they've been abducted. So it's really nice that the community came together to do that. Julia Anderson actually went to the police in Mississippi to prove William's innocence. She wanted to prove that the child was in fact Bruce. Julia was an unmarried mother from North Carolina, and she actually worked for William, and it's believed that the father of Bruce was actually William's brother. When talking with police actually showed Julia a lineup of pictures of different young boys, and obviously one of these young boys was her son. And for some reason she could not even pick her son out of the lineup. How does a mother not know what their child looks like? She went on and continued to claim that the child was hers, and given the fact that she could not pick her child up out of a lineup, and also that she had actually had other children out of wedlock and they passed away, nobody kind of believed what she was saying. She could not afford a massive court case, so she had no choice but to return home. Soon after, the trial against William Walters started. Many people from his town, and including Julia Anderson, actually attended this trial to try and prove his innocence. A lot of the residents actually said that they saw William with Bruce before Bobby's disappearance. Also, Julia begged them to look into the possibility of that child actually being Bruce. Leslie, Bobby's mother, also attended this trial because she did not want to lose her child again. Despite this information, police concluded that the child was Bobby Dunbar, and William was charged with kidnap. He had also been sent to life in prison. After the trial, Julia Anderson actually moved to Popularville, and the residents in that area welcomed her with open arms. She did become a changed woman. She had found religion and she went on to have 7 other children. But she would always talk about Bruce, and it was just common knowledge in the family that apparently the Dunbars kidnapped Bruce. After 2 years, William managed to get an appeal and his case was overturned. So this meant he was free to leave jail and live life as an innocent man. As for Bobby, he continued to live with the Dunbars and he was happily married and went on to have 4 children of his own. But unfortunately, in 1966, Bobby passed away. A couple of years after Bobby's death, his granddaughter, Margaret Dunbar, had actually decided to look into this case and investigate it for herself. Given the size of the case at the time, this was something big that happened in her family, and she just wanted to get a little bit more information on the situation. She went through all the old newspapers, she spoke to Julia's children, and she even went through all the evidence that was given on both sides at the trial. She wanted to prove once and for all that her grandfather was a Dunbar, but after investigating it for herself, she had her doubts. In 2004, Bobby Dunbar Jr. actually consented to a DNA test, and they tested him and his cousin because his cousin was Bobby Dunbar's brother's son. And this was the easiest way to find out if Bobby Dunbar was Bobby Dunbar. The DNA test results actually revealed that they were not related at all. So this means that Bobby Dunbar was not Bobby. It was actually proven that Bobby Dunbar was Bruce. So the boy who grew up as Bobby Dunbar was actually Julia Anderson's son. The police had wrongly given the Dunbars the wrong child and also took a child off another mother. I have personally never heard of anything like this happening. It is absolutely crazy. A man was charged, the wrong child was given, and another mother had to go on without having her child and live the rest of her life with everyone thinking she was lying. But what's even crazier than all that in this case is the fact that we don't know what happened to Bobby. We don't know if he wandered off, if he got hurt, or something even more serious. And I don't think we will ever know. Margaret believed that he possibly fell into the lake and succumbed to the alligators. But what do you think? What is your conclusion on this case? So that is all for today's case and today's video. I've got another video I'm planning to put up in a couple of days, I think. It's going to be another missing persons case. I know I do a lot of missing persons cases, but I just like to bring awareness onto these cases. You know me, I'm all about doing good. So if you did enjoy this video, please give it a massive thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and I shall see you in my next true crime video. Bye.